Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is going to be about Virginia's deposition, a video deposition that she made. Now the date of this is, and I'm going to check my facts, November the 14th, 2016. And basically there's a collection of documents, emails, and also a video deposition as well. So what I've done here is I have narrated some of the emails at the beginning. I've basically gone to the flow of the document as it kind of is, and you'll see that it's kind of all over the place. So hopefully I've kind of organised it as best as I can so that you guys can follow it. It's not as long as the Ghislaine Maxwell deposition, you'll be really pleased to hear. There is another one that is coming that is slightly longer, that is kind of part of this. But I just thought it was really interesting to see some of the other side. This, the video deposition actually goes on about and questions her around kind of if some of the statements that were made in the press, if they were actually true or false. So yeah. Have a little listen, see what you think, and let me know your comments. It was, yeah, just another interesting, it's always good to see the other side and, you know, just kind of get hold of another legal document that gives some facts. So, yeah, here we go. Here's some unsealed Virginia Giuffre's unsealed documents.
Okay, so we start at Exhibit NN. So the second page just details the fact that it's Virginia versus Ghislaine. Defendant Ghislaine Maxwell makes the following disclosures. Identities of individuals likely to have discoverable information relevant to disputed facts alleged with particularity in the pleadings. And then it details Ghislaine Maxwell and her address, Virginia Lee Roberts Giuffre and then her address. Ms. Giuffre is the plaintiff and has knowledge concerning the matters at issue in her complaint, including the events of 1996 to 2015 and the publication of statements in the press in 2011 to 2015. It then states Philip Barden and his address. Mr. Barden has knowledge concerning press statements by plaintiff and defendant in 2011 to 2015 at issue in this matter. Paul Cazell. So Mr. Cazell has knowledge concerning press statements by plaintiff, plaintiff's court pleadings and plaintiff's sworn testimony. Alan Deschauchitz. Mr. Deschauchitz has knowledge concerning plaintiff's false statements to the press in court pleadings and in sworn testimony at issue in this matter. Bradley Edwards. Doesn't say what he has information on, but it would basically all be to do with they would have information. So this document is dated February the 24th, 2016, and it's just a certificate of service for Laura Menninger. So page 5, Exhibit 00. Okay, so page 6 is an email. Now I'm going to read all of these out. So this is to Sharon Churcher, who was from the Mail on Sunday, from Virginia. It was sent on Thursday, 5th of the 12th, 2011. Subject, good news. Thanks again, Shazza. I'm bringing down the house with this book. Jenna. The next email is from Sharon again at the Mail on Sunday. Subject is good news. To Virginia. Received Wednesday the 11th of May 2011. Don't forget Alan Dershowitz, J.E.'s buddy and lawyer. Good name for your pitch, as he repped Claus von Berlow and a movie was made about that case. Title was Reversal of Fortune. We all suspect Alan is a pedo, and though no proof of that, you probably met him when he was hanging with J.E. So, same subject, good news, date 10th of the 5th, 2011. Hi Sharon. Hello gorgeous. I hope this message comes to you on a bright, sunny day. I took your advice about what to offer Sandra and she accepted. We're drawing up a contract through her agent right now and getting busy to meet my deadline. Just wondering if you have any information on you from when you and I were doing interviews about the GE story. I wanted to put the names of some of these arseholes, oops, I meant to say pedos, that JE sent me to. With everything going on, my brain feels like mush and it would be a great deal of help. Having fun, sweetie? Thanks, Jenna. So this one is to Sharon Churcher at Mail on Sunday from Virginia. Sent on Wednesday the 6th of the 8th, 2011. Subject is Virginia Roberts. Hi buddy, you are absolutely right. Nail biting is an understatement of the century. We didn't have any trouble with spiders or anything like that yesterday. It was more my daughter that gave everyone a spook. She wandered off when I turned my back to look at homemade jam and found her outside in the bush, chasing the ruse. My own miniature Tarzan. My fingers and toes are crossed and I'm thinking positive. Much love, Jenna. From Sharon Churcher, again Mail on Sunday, subject Virginia Roberts. To, the email is actually blanked out, but I'm assuming that is Virginia Roberts. Received Wednesday the 8th of June 2011. Ruse, you lucky thing. But did you have to duck under spider webs? They were strung between trees when I went. It is a nail biting. But remember, it is only one agent. He was keen to get in, which is good. If he doesn't go for it, there are others. Different tastes. When did you send it? Shazza. From Virginia. Sent Wednesday the June the 8th, 2011. To Sharon. Subject still Virginia Roberts. Dearest Shazza, once again, you have really outdone yourself. Many, many thanks. I took the kids to the Australian walkabout park today and enjoyed the scenic walks and many kangaroos. Rob and I had good chuckle about our adventures at the reptile park with you and Mike. Good times. Have you heard from Mike? I hope he is well, and if you ever speak, tell him I sent a big hello. I really appreciate everything you have helped with. As a friend, you have gone beyond the call of duty. I hope we hear back from Jared soon. Jenna. From Sharon Churcher, Mail on Sunday, subject Virginia Roberts. To Jared, CCing Virginia. Received Wednesday the 8th of June 2011. Hi Jared, hopefully you have Virginia's book pitch by now. She has some amazing names which she can share with you in confidence, and I think she also has a human interest story that could appeal to the Oprah female set, as well as the Wall Streeters who follow Epstein, a hedge fund king. Here are a few of our stories about Virginia, plus some examples of the massive US and other international media pickup. Vanity Fair are doing a piece, I believe, in their August issue. The FBI have reopened the Epstein case due to Virginia's revelations. I also am attaching a link to a New York magazine profile of Epstein, written before his world combusted. The FBI believe he was essentially running a private and mobile brothel for some of the world's richest and most influential men. He got off the first time round after retaining Kenneth Starr, who witch hunted Bill Clinton, and Alan Dershowitz, Von Bellow's appeal lawyer who inspired the movie Reversal of Fortune. The US Justice Department is investigating corruption allegations against at least one prosecutor involved in the case. Best regards, Sharon. Exhibit PP. Confidential video deposition of Virginia Giuffre, Volume 2, November the 14th, 2016. Virginia L. Giuffre, plaintiff versus Ghislaine Maxwell, defendant. Pursuant to notice and the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, the continued video deposition of Virginia Giuffre, called by defendant, was taken on Monday, November the 14th, 2016, commencing at 8:04 a.m. at 150 East 10th Avenue, Denver, Colorado, before Pamela J. Hansen, registered professional reporter, certified real-time reporter, notary public within Colorado. Video deposition of Virginia Giuffre, Volume 2, examination by Miss Menninger. Didn't see them take pictures of the backs of them. I'm not too sure who. You don't remember sending to them a photograph that included this wood around another photograph? No. Okay. You've mentioned a journalist by the name of Sharon Churcher. Yes. You are aware that Sharon Churcher published news stories about you? Yes. Miss Macaulay, objection. Go ahead. Question by Miss Menninger. Is anything that you have read in Sharon Churcher's news stories about you untrue? I think Sharon did print some things that I think she elaborated or maybe misheard. But, I mean, if you have a specific document to show me, I'd love to look at it and read it and tell you what I think. Is there anything as you sit here today that you know of that Sharon Churcher printed about you that is not true? Not off the top of my head. If you show me like a news clipping article or something, I can definitely read it for you. Is there anything that you know of that Sharon Churcher has printed about Ghislaine Maxwell that is not true? No, not off the top of my head. Is there anything that you recall saying to Sharon Churcher that she then printed something different than what you said to her? Yeah, I've read stuff. I mean, I can't remember what. I read something that I think was, oh, she got that wrong. I can't remember an exact example off the top of my head. Did you ever complain to Sharon Churcher about things that she got wrong? I didn't see a point. I might have, but I didn't see a point really because it's already printed, you know. You had a fairly voluminous set of communications with Sharon Churcher by email, correct? Objection. Voluminous, like a lot of them? Yes. Yes. And during any of those communications, do you know whether she printed things about you after you had any of those communications? Objection. I don't know. I know a lot of stuff was printed and I never really stopped to read who printed the article or wrote the article. I should say, sorry. Okay, I'll show you defendant's Exhibit 7. Exhibit 7 marked. The deponent, thank you. I'll let you read through the statements on the first page there, and if there is anything that is not absolutely true, just put a check by it and we'll come back to it. It's not very clear how she wrote it. I flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her. That wasn't an eyewitness statement. Like, I didn't see her do it. Ghislaine was the one who told me about that. That she was the one who flew Bill. Alright, if you just want to put a check by it, then we'll just come back and talk about each one. Okay. Just to move things along. Okay, I have made 3 check marks. Alright. Ms. Macaulay. And before you continue, I just want to identify for the record, since this doesn't have any identifiers on it, are you representing that these are statements from Sharon Churcher? Ms. Menninger. I'm not representing anything. I'm asking the witness questions about these statements. I asked her, is anything on here not true? That's all I asked her. So which ones did you put check marks by, Miss Giuffre? I'd have been about 17 at the time. I flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her. Okay, and what else did you put a check by? I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. Okay, and what else did you put a check by? Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. He didn't partake in any sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. He'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, "You've got the life." Other than the 3 you've just mentioned, yeah, everything else on here is absolutely accurate. Objection? Yes, well, to the best of my recollection, yes. Alright, what is inaccurate about I'd have been about 17 at the time? I flew to the Caribbean with Jeffrey, and then Ghislaine Maxwell went to pick up Bill in a huge black helicopter that Jeffrey had bought her. Because it makes it kind of sound like an eyewitness thing. Okay, did you say that statement to Sharon Churcher? I said to Sharon that Ghislaine told me that she flew Bill in the black helicopter that Jeffrey bought her. And I just wanted to clarify that I didn't actually see her do that. I heard from Ghislaine that she did that. You heard that from Ghislaine, and then you reported to Sharon Churcher that you had heard that from Ghislaine. Correct. I heard a lot of things from Ghislaine that sounded too true, too outrageous to be true, but you never knew what to believe, so... Okay, and after Sharon Churcher printed what she said, you said, did you complain to her that it was inaccurate? I might have verbally with her, but again, I didn't see a point in making a hissy over it because what was done was done. She had already printed. What was inaccurate about I used to get frightened flying with her, but Bill said had the Secret Service with him, and I remember him talking about what a good job she did. I just don't remember saying that to her. I don't remember saying I remember him talking about what a good job she did. Alright. I just don't remember that at all. Okay, and I guess just to be clear, my questions wasn't do you remember saying this to Sharon Churcher? My question is that statement accurate? Well, objection. Did you use to get frightened flying with her? Yes. Okay, did Bill have the Secret Service with him? They were there, but not not where we were eating. Do you remember Bill talking about what a good job she did? I don't remember that. So what is inaccurate about that statement? It's inaccurate because I don't remember him talking about what a good job she did. I don't remember that. Does it inaccurately suggest that Bill had the Secret Service with him on a helicopter? Objection. Well, not being an eyewitness to it, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I can't tell you what I don't know. And do you believe you said that statement to Sharon Churcher? I mean, Sharon and I talked a lot, and if she misheard me or just wrote it in the way that she thought she should, I have no control over that, so I'm not too sure. Did she record your interviews? Some of them she didn't. I mean, we met for like a week, and we spent a lot of time together, and even after that we just continued like kind of a friendship. All right, what's inaccurate about the last statement on that page? Donald Trump was also a good friend of Jeffrey's. That part is true. He didn't partake in any sex with any of us, but he flirted with me. It's true that he didn't partake in any sex with us, but it's not true that he flirted with me. Donald Trump never flirted with me. Then the next sentence is, he'd laugh and tell Jeffrey, "You've got the life." I never said that to her. When you say he didn't partake in any sex with any of us, who is us? Girls, just... How do you know who Donald Trump had sex with? Oh, I didn't physically see him have sex with any of the girls, so I can't say who he had sex with in his whole life or not. But I just know it wasn't with me, when I was with the other girls. And who were the other girls that you were with in Donald Trump's presence? None. I work for Donald Trump, and I've met him probably a few times. When have you met him? At Mar-a-Lago, my dad and him. I wouldn't say they were friends, but my dad knew him and they would talk all the time. Well, not all the time, but when they saw each other. Have you ever been in Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's presence with one another? No. What is the basis for your statement that Donald Trump is a good friend of Jeffrey's? Jeffrey told me that Donald Trump is a good friend of his. But you never observed them together? No, not that I can actually remember. I mean, not off the top of my head, no. When did Donald Trump flirt with you? He didn't. That's what's inaccurate. Did you ever see Donald Trump at Jeffrey's home? Not that I can remember. On his island? No, not that I can remember. In New Mexico? No, not that I can remember. In New York? Not that I can remember. Alright, if you could turn to the second page and read through those. Let me know if any of those are inaccurate. Just put a check by them and then we'll come back. Okay. Ms. Macaulay. Before you go, Virginia, I'm going to object to the use of the second page of this document. There's no time frame on it. There's no source reference to it, so it's entirely unclear where this has come from. Okay, are you done? Yes. Okay, what's the first one you've put a check by? The hammock photo was all over the houses. In parentheses. And Bill Clinton and Andrew in parentheses had to have seen it. All over the houses is not my statement and an exaggeration. They did have that picture in the houses, and I believe, if I remember the conversation correctly, she asked, could have Bill Clinton and Andrew seen the picture? And I said, yes, it's possible that they could have seen it. So I mean, it's just that, it's not that it's totally inaccurate. I just think it's like journalist writing had to have seen it. It doesn't mean they saw it. I just think that if it was in front of them, they would have seen it. So she told you that, you told her that the photographs was in the houses. Yes. I know he had it in New York on his desk. I know he had it in Palm Beach. I know he had it in the Caribbean. And I don't know if he had it in New Mexico. I can't remember New Mexico, maybe. Where in Palm Beach was the photograph? The massage room? Was that, you did not say that it was all over the houses? Correct. All over the houses would imply that it's everywhere in the house, so you did not say that Andrew and Clinton had to have seen the photograph. Correct. It was more of a, if they were in front of it, they would have seen it kind of a thing. I'm not saying it right, but it wasn't like had to have seen it. Alright, what's the next statement that you put a check by? I'm sorry, excuse me, my kid shared a beautiful cough with me again. I spent 4 years as a millionaire's personal masseuse. What is inaccurate about that statement? We now know, according to the timelines, that Mar-a-Lago was able to provide for us that it was not 4 years. How many years was it? More like 2 to 2.5, I think. If I'm right, or 2. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at math, but yes, the 2 period. What's the next statement that you have put a check by? I was a paedophile's dream. I think she took that out of context and made that her own little headline. Did you say that to her? I said something along the lines like, the pedos love me because I would do everything that they wanted for them. But do I think that, yeah, I know she made that line up herself. The paedophile's dream. What's the next one you put a check by? I put a question mark next to the next one. It says, 3 years later, she was reunited with her family. I don't know what that pertains to. I don't know what timeline that means. Was there a period of 3 years where you were not with your family? There's been longer periods than that when I wasn't with my family. That's what I mean. I don't understand where that comes from. 3 years later, she was reunited with her family. Prior to 2002, was there a period of 3 years where you were not with your family? No. Okay, did you say to Sharon Churcher 3 years later she was reunited with her family? That's what I don't understand. I don't even know what that time period pertains to. Do you recall saying that to Sharon Churcher? No. What's the next one you put a check by? After about 2 years, he started to ask me to entertain his friends. What's wrong with that statement? It wasn't 2 years. I don't know where she got that from. Okay, how long was it? Like, I can't give you an exact time period, but it wasn't right in the beginning. It was after my training, or so to speak, training. So I mean, my best guesstimate would be anywhere between 4 to 6 months. So you did not say to Sharon Churcher, after about 2 years he asked me to entertain his friends? Correct. What's the next one you put a check by? That's it. That's all I put a check mark next to. So the rest of these are absolutely accurate. Nothing a journalist writes is absolutely accurate, but it sounds accurate, yes. Do you recall Jeffrey Epstein saying to you, I've got a good friend and I need you to fly to the island to entertain him, massage him and make him feel how you make me feel? Objection. Go ahead. I do remember him saying that, and I think that's more of a generalization for all the times that I was sent to the island to entertain people. And that would be a quote that she made But from my words saying, that's what he said to me when I had to go be with these people that he sent me to. Did you say that sentence to her? Objection. I can't remember. Like I said, I think it's more of a generalisation. Did you meet Al Gore? Yes. Did you meet Heidi Klum? Yes. Did you meet Naomi Campbell? Yes. Did you go on a 6-week trip with Epstein in 2001? Yeah. Yes, sorry. When in 2001 did you go on a 6-week trip with him? I don't remember exactly when it was, but it's the one where we went to Tangier, Morocco, England. I can't remember where else we went. France. Did the FBI tell you that Epstein had hidden cameras watching you the entire time, even when you were in the bathroom? Yes. Did the FBI tell you everything he did was illegal because I was underage? Yes. Who in the FBI told you that? Whichever agent I was talking to. Which agent were you talking to? I can't remember. I know I was talking to Jason Richards, and there was a girl, I want to say her name was Christina Pryor, just off the top of my head. And then I think there was 2 other agents actually at the consulate building. I don't remember their name. Very hazy. When was this conversation with the FBI? After Sharon printed the articles, the first articles that came out. I don't know how many she printed, but when the first articles came out, after that the FBI contacted me. And was the statement that the FBI told you everything he did was illegal because I was underage, in response to you telling them that you were age 15 when you met Jeffrey? Objection. Well, that was the closest proximity I had to go off of. Okay. So yes, although I still was underage, even if I was 16 and 17. Okay, and then if you could do the last page, same way, a check by anything that's not absolutely accurate. Ms. Macaulay. Okay, I'm going to object to this as the last page has no identifier or time or source on it. Okay, I'm ready. Alright, which ones are inaccurate? The first one is, Virginia got a part-time job as a changing room assistant. I was a full-time person there. Sorry. Okay, so did you say that to Sharon? Again, I don't remember that exact conversation, but I know it was a full-time job. And I mean full-time as in the 9 to 5 or whatever hours it was. So it wasn't part-time. I don't remember the exact conversation that we had. Okay, what's the next thing you put a check by? I put a question mark next to another lady led me into Jeffrey's bedroom. The lady walked me straight through into the massage room. I have no idea what circumstances that pertains to. Again, I don't know what that means. I don't even know what other lady she's talking about. So you don't recall saying that to Sharon Churcher? Correct, I don't even know what it means. Okay, what's the next one you have a check by? Afterwards, she was given 2 $100 bills and told to return the next day. That was the beginning of the 4 years she spent with Epstein. Alright, what's wrong about that statement? Well, again, I just want to say that the 4 years was inaccurate based upon memory and not an accurate actual timeline that we were able to get. Did you say that to Sharon Churcher, that it was 4 years? I don't know if I said that to her or... Oh yeah, did I tell her it was 4 years? Yes, I did, I'm sorry. Okay, what else did you put a check by? Well, this one is a question mark again. Radar Online has obtained exclusive diary entries of a teen sex slave. It wasn't really a diary. It was like, I don't know how many pages of something that I wrote, and Sharon used it. So Did you tell Sharon it was your diary entry? She knew it wasn't a diary entry, no. Okay, were you a teen sex slave? Yes. What's the next one you have a check mark by? I also saw Prince Andrew at a ranch in New Mexico. Did you tell that to Sharon Churchill? No, and I think it's a mistake. Maybe she meant somewhere else, but because we had been talking about so much, maybe she just put New Mexico. I don't think Sharon intentionally lied or any of these. I think we talked so much over a period of a week, and then after that we had a phone conversations and so on and so forth, that some of the information just got misheard or mishandled or whatever. And what was printed was inaccurate. Was that printed? I don't remember reading that in the papers, but if it was printed, it's inaccurate. Do you recall reading any of the ones that you put a check mark by in the papers? There's been so much printed, it's hard for me to remember. I mean, yes, it does sound like stuff I read before. When you spoke with Sharon Churchill, you agreed to waive your anonymity, right? I did. Why did you agree to do that? I felt it was time for me to tell my story. I felt it was a good time for me to come forward. I had done so much healing, and I thought that it would be good for other people to hear what's going on, how it's happening, how vulnerable other girls can be, and not even know the damage that it causes later in life. And I just thought it would be the right thing to do to come forward. You authorised her to publish your name? I did. And your photograph? Yes. In 2011. I think that was the year, yes. You posed for photographs with her? I, Virginia Giuffre, do hereby certify that I have read the foregoing transcript, and that the same and accompanying amendment sheets, if any, constitute a true and complete record of my testimony. Some names have been changed in order to protect other people. Protect their privacy. Protect their privacy, yeah, I would say. Just not getting them involved in if this were to ever go public. Well, again, without rereading the whole manuscript. Reading it, yeah, I'm trying to see if I can see something in here. Let me narrow my question and maybe that will help. Yes. Is there anything, well, first of all, did you author that entire manuscript? Yes, I did. Did anyone else author part of that manuscript? Do you mean did anyone else write this with me? Right. No. That's all your writing. This is my writing. Okay, to the best of your recollection, as you sit here right now, is there anything in that manuscript about Ghislaine Maxwell that is untrue? I don't believe so. Like I said, there is a lot of stuff that I actually have left out of here. So there is a lot more information I could put in there. But as far as Ghislaine Maxwell goes, I would like to say that there is 99.9% of it would be the correct knowledge. Alright, is there anything that you and I understand you're doing this from memory? Is there anything that you recall as you're sitting here today about Ghislaine Maxwell that is contained in that manuscript that is not true? You know, I haven't read this in a very long time. I don't believe that there's anything in here about Ghislaine Maxwell that is not true. Mr. Edwards, I'd just ask counsel if you have anything specific to show her about Ghislaine Maxwell. Ms. Menninger: I'll ask questions. Mr. Edwards: I'll have her look at it. Ms. Menninger: I'll ask questions. Mr. Edwards: I know, but I want the record clear that if she hasn't read it in a long... I, Virginia Giuffre, do hereby certify that I have read the foregoing transcript and that the same and accompanying amendment sheets, if any, constitute a true and complete record of my testimony.